Let's see. No. Right here. Maybe. Nope. I don't want it. Giving you some time to get on in. Boy, I had a rough night. Rough night. And I don't, but that's life. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. A lot of work to do. But hey, family, you know what we got to do. So let's get it. First off, I want to welcome you to the home of the stubborn minority, the congregation of the mighty, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. What's wrong? Anime, what's going on? Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Yo, you sounding kind of subdued. What's going on? Of course, y'all know this is a Heart of a Simba production. And this is the Daily Toast, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. What is going on with my sound?
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water. But first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Just breathe. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, then drink. Now get your glass for that water. Get your picture of that water on your bottle. Lift that picture of that water on the bottle. Lift and pour your water. Simple pour. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Now move your body and drink some water. Now move your body and drink some water. Fam, just move your body. Drink. Or should we say, move, and drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But to stay healthy, remember, breathe, drink, eat, move, get some sleep. Of course, stay culturally appropriate. But hey, take your breath, lift and pour, move your body, toast your ancestors, drink up. drink, drink, drink. Drink some water. I don't know. Drink some water. Drink some water. Drink some water. Drink your water. Now say that again, Miss Mosh.
It's in the car.
It's in the car? Uh-huh. And what you want me to do about it? Here. Ask your brother to go get it. Alright, real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. Handling business, getting my daughters and my son together. You know, because sometimes it get kind of hard, man. I be having things going on all over, all the time. Just like many of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm living that life. Living the life. Right? And just trying to keep my head above the water and to keep from just blowing up. Wait, where is the explosion up? To keep from having a lot of little simple things, and you know, and then also being somebody who likes certain things in certain places sometimes and stuff, like, you know, for it to be out of place is kind of rough for me. But we had a show last night. I wasn't all into it, but I wanted to make sure we delivered it. But we do have the G&J Mall popping off tomorrow, 6/29, 2019, 12 to 6 p.m. You know what I'm saying? We'll be in the house. You know what I'm saying? Setting up, getting ready for the family to come through. I had some people call me like, you know, it's the same weekend as the fest, Confest. I said, what? Care about no Confest? I mean, that same thing we had last month was, you know, the Malcolm X celebration the same time as the Asian Fest. Listen, fam. Listen to me. Asian Fest, Confest, ain't gonna put money in your pocket on a regular basis. Now, you might be able to go there and vend and you might be able to make money on that day. But what we trying to do with G&J Mall is try to make sure that you are able to do some commerce once a month. And the last thing we need is for people to start getting frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's already been calls to cancel. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm in between because my piece is I got to keep peace. I want to keep peace within the family, but also I want to stay consistent because I know one of the things that we don't have access to all the time is consistent venues. We have a consistent venue where it's affordable for everybody that's involved. You know what I'm saying? And I think that these type of efforts really, really deserve the community support, especially those of us that's talking about nation building and consciousness, because it gives you a place where on a regular basis you can set up and shop your wares, share your ideas, right? It's only $20 to set up a vending booth. If you're selling food, it's $30. You know what I'm saying? And please understand, like I said, I'm hearing prices from other venues and other events. They charging hundreds of dollars, tens and tens. We saying $20. Now, from 12 to 6, how much you really gonna miss up there? The good stuff really don't start to the evening, so you need to come and chill with the family. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, let's go and see what's going on in the news. All right, we know the G20 is meeting over in Japan. We know that the presidential debates, the second part, is so many motherfuckers want to run for the presidency. They had to have 2 debates. 2. I'm understanding there was a lot of Spanish spoken in yesterday's race. I heard Kamala Harris try to hand Joe Biden his ass. But also, I'm not hearing reparations. I'm not hearing it. Very uncomfortable with that. Well, actually, I kind of figured that, because like I said, family, stop falling for the symbolism. What they gave with that little hearing before the hearing. I mean, it's like 3 hearings away from it really being heard. I mean, so they gave you a symbolic piece, and now you're supposed to move on. So then the news you start hearing all this stuff about the immigrants. You start hearing all this stuff about all the other stuff. Great Nia fam, that's from Brother Kwame. Kwame is reaching, wishing everybody a great Nia. He's a regular listener on Spreaker. I hope he enjoys Spreaker. And let me know if I can improve the sound, because when I put the mic in, it's a constant noise underneath. And I want to try to reduce that and make the sound quality on Spreaker a little bit better. I'm going to come up with a method of doing that soon. But anyway, back to what I was saying, if I can remember. So they give symbolic, they're used to being able to throw a symbolic bones. You know what I'm saying? Don't have no meat on it, and we just take it. I have a great, okay, cool. Kwame say, I was the ambrosia. I told you it was strong. As a matter of fact, we're going to toast up a little bit with that original Kwame mix. I have 2 orders in. I have one for ginseng that I got sitting right now. Right now, as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to cap it a little bit to make sure the bottle don't blow up while I'm at work. And I have a mango ginger that was ordered. A mango ginger. I'm really interested. I didn't do a gallon of that. I said I'm gonna go on and get a little extra of that, just because that sounds adventurous. I said mango ginger. Bro, he said, bro, it put some more hair on my chest, and I really don't need it. Man, but I'm real interested in effects, because this time when as I'm gonna pour some in, this time I really, really got a strong root taste. Shouts out to Sister Navita, Miss Abina Navita is in the house, right? So, but like I was saying, family, back to the debates and the symbolic stuff. They throw out symbolic bones for us. Then on the side, you got people sniping the whole idea. So what I think I'm going to do in this newsletter is I'm going to find some of the basic arguments that people will bring up. Like in yesterday's article that I was reading, one of the thing, well, what's next? The Native Americans going to get reparations? Boom. We could debunk that one. In that case, if we charging reparations, then the African countries and the Arabs also have to pay reparations too. Debunk that argument. You know what I'm saying? Because they do have to pay reparations, but that's not our concern, right? At this point in time of the struggle, that's not our concern, right? So what we have is America acting like a goddamn teenager, or members of America. And what's crazy is these 2 articles that I'm reading both involve black men. What? I mean, a lot of excuses that I think I need to cover are usually arguments that black people bring against reparations. I do not understand. Well, it's kind of complicated because I'm half black. I have Asian. And I got a few sprinkles of Scandinavian and Irish in my DNA. Do I supposed to get reparations? When are the articles due? Articles are due. They usually do, actually today, they do the weekend of the market. Articles are due the weekend of the market. right? So, of course, I'm going to have a bunch of brothers with, I was a simple kid. Some of the sisters might have some. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Right? We got a product we got to get out. You know what I'm saying? And so let's get busy. You know what I'm saying? Do a video. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Do something. Right? Because we're moving to the next level with this. All right. So, let me see. That has always been the way to have us fight against our own best interest. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Feeling guilty. You know what I'm saying? Because you collecting the debt. I feel bad because they might not have the money. We take payments. When people be like, well, they ain't got that type of money. We can set up a payment plan. You know what I'm saying? IRS allow me to set up a payment plan. You know what I'm saying? We can have a 30-year. We do it like you mortgaging a house. 30 year. We do a 30 to 100 years since it's generational. 30 to 120 year process. Hell, matter of fact, we can even match the time of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Let's say 250 years. Plus extra 100 for Jim Crow. Plus another 50 for the war on drugs and all the other bullshit that y'all been pulling. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. Our people have been committed to the country, kind of locked in. So the country need to be committed and locked in to us. So, enough said. Let's see if there's anything that popped up new on the timeline before I run into. Also, I want to invite all the supporters to go to one of our sponsor site. Is a book, and the book is called, hold on, I'm going to post it up real quick. Paste. Wow. There we go. One of the sponsors, the name of the book is 50 Reasons Why. Hold on, I'm letting it pull up real quick. 50 Reasons Why. Now, this is a book on Gumroad. It's a special report. It's actually a special report. I take that back. It's First Frequency of Oneness, Science, Manifestation, and Prosperity. 50 Reasons Why African Americans Succeed at Failing Financially by Reverend Philip Shock Matthews. Real good piece, man. Real good piece. And it's a limited time offer. So go and check it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you could get it zero or you pay what you want. Why is available. You know what I'm saying? And when you pay, you know what I'm saying, Gye-Nyame gets some. So, but it's a good report. And it's something good to discuss. And we'll discuss a little bit more because we discussed some last week. I also want to remind people that on today is 6/28. On 6/29, 1959, I think, they brought the interstate highway. They passed the bill for the interstate highway. And it's 1956. 41,000 miles national system of interstate and defense highways. And I'm illustrating this piece because I want people, especially from other cities, in your 50s, late 40s, 50s, and 60s. I want you to think about the black communities that we used to talk about, where you would walk down the street and everybody would, discipline you. This interstate highway was one of the ways that they destroyed those communities. I just want y'all to know this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know the history, understand that these highways were strategically placed, because I want y'all to listen to what it's called. National System of Interstate and Defense Highways. A lot of these highways broke up thriving communities. You can look right at Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon, the whole Mount Vernon area is cut in half. Right in the middle of where Mount Vernon used to, when you look at the pictures, where it used to stretch out, there is an expressway that runs right through that whole community. It cuts off Long Street. It cuts off Mount Vernon. It cuts off that whole area. That whole area was connected. And a lot of that was black. And they ran it right through Columbus. So 71, whenever you're going on down these highways and you're going through a city, I will almost put money on it. When it goes right through the heart of the city, the places where it goes through the city is where there was at one point in time thriving communities. So, and I use this to remind me when I get into my black folks, they doing enough. You know what I'm saying? To remind me that we have always strove to come together. And there's always been something that would interfere with that by the hands of this government and the national, state, and local governments that would come in and put a wedge right in between of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that people are talking about we don't do, we have done. And in many cases, we're still trying to do. Like, for example, let me give you an example. Just a real brief example. Elder Renee called in last night. He said it. I didn't. And I'm going to say it about this week. He said, when we had the Malcolm X Festival, we had an all right turnout. But a lot of folks chose to go to the Asian Festival and the other festival that was popping off rather than our festival. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we're doing. All right, we're providing the venue for folks to come together and for us to come and build. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we get our regulars, and I'm very satisfied for the regulars, and I want to give the regulars, and I want to give that family that support us a round of applause. But I want to check those who don't support shit, but then turn around and talk about what black folks ain't doing. Right? I want to give you the horn of fuckery. You get the horn of fuckery. Fuckery alert. The horn of fuckery. Share this with your friends and family. Get the horn of fuckery. I'm so sick of people who don't do shit talking about what we don't do. When in fact, we have pockets of groups all over this country that are trying to do the very same thing that we're doing. And the very people that talk about, we don't come together. We don't work together. We don't practice and pull our money together. The very same individuals don't show up for shit. And that needs to stop. It has to stop. Right? You know what I mean? It's almost like family. When you start, if you are involved with something and you're sitting in the room with somebody that you have not seen at anything, especially if you're organizer, you have not seen them at anything. You have not heard their voice. You have not heard you. And you walk in the room and they're talking, you just might need to get up and just walk out. Because like I said, family, it's time for us to start establishing borders. Right? Because one of the things I want to do is I want to do ADOS registration. Because I want to be looking at people sideways when this battle is finally won. I don't care if I'm 102 years old. I'm looking at that 80-year-old who told me when we was younger, we ain't gonna never get that. What you in line? You know what I'm saying? What's that check you holding in your hand now? Your kids going to school for free. Oh, you want the benefits now? Which that's the way it usually go. But I want to be one of those elders that's able to be like, I remember when your dumb ass was sitting around talking about how futile anything we did was. I remember when you used to say, you know what I'm saying? Because we need individuals like that. And we need elders right now that were actually involved with the movements back in the day when some of these motherfuckers is talking to me like that motherfucker wasn't doing shit. While we was marching or while we was doing whatever he was doing, he was at work. He wasn't doing shit. I asked him for a donation. He wouldn't even put in money, said that, all the struggles that because we got a lot of imposters. And what we have to make sure is as we start becoming elders, that we able to start pointing out those imposters. You know what I'm saying? Because this is getting serious now. We got people out here actually doing work, and we got other people trying to swoop in and steal whatever they done and run off with their legacy. I marched with Martin. I had dinner with Malcolm. I knew Malcolm. I used to do Marcus Garvey's nails. Do you know that big hat he wore? I put the feathers in that hat. You see the car he was in? That was my Uncle Jake driving. We got a lot of imposters, and we got to start identifying all those with treasonous behavior. But back to the expressways, family. I just use that to always remind myself that there has been an effort to keep us separated, to keep us apart. You know what I'm saying? Even though they redlined us, they started seeing their errors of many of their ways, because they start seeing no matter how they did us, the community will always build up and it would develop. So they had to find ways to separate that and split that up. And those expressways were key pieces, because they didn't just pick just the neighborhoods. They picked the thriving ones and ran it right through where there might have been stores and stuff like that. And you don't believe me? Look it up yourself. All right, so now let's get to this toast, and I'm going to get up out of here because I'm already running late. Oh, he said, I did get Digitalnomics. That's a good book. Is it in ebook format? This one is. It's a special report, and it's actually a PDF, which is some information that I'm going to bring to the family, because right now, like I said, I'm involved with the course, and like I said, keeping to the tenets of the book Player's Pyramid. Law, like I told y'all before. What is it? 2-7. Wrote the damn book and I can't find my... Alright, so we got the building blocks. Here we go. Have a mentor or hero. So I had to find a mentor. You know what I'm saying? So that I could pull the digital part of our struggle together. You know what I'm saying? The digital part of what we doing together. And that's what I'm striving to do. So we got another comment. Let me see. What? Uh-oh. What's going on, Miss CeeLo? And we got all these people from different cities. Because we might need to come together and compare stories. Because I remember, like, for example, I was born after the expressway came through. And I ain't saying, now let me say this, because the expressways did assist my family in Akron and made it a lot simpler for them to get down south. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandparents used to make sure that they went down south on a yearly basis, or every other, whenever they needed to get down there. It made it a lot easier for them to get down south. But it's just so happened that if you look at how these maps are drawn out, that they strategically went through black communities. And those that know and have ever dealt with this type of construction, they had this thing called eminent domain, where even if you don't want to sell, they could literally force you out your house and pay you what they decide they want to pay you. Even though they need your property. You need my property. There's a need there. Oh, you willing to pay 20? I want 70. No, we're going to pay you 20. Here's your 20. Get. And we're going to bulldoze your whole thing now. But I am old enough to remember the interbelts, right? So after they built the expressways, what they needed was interbelts that would connect the whole city, right? This is what we called it in Akron. They called it the interbelt. So what they would do is, now that they done took out a part of the community, separated, then they would put an interbelt around the city, right? We call it, like in Columbus, you got two. You got 670, it kind of runs around, and then you got 270 that runs around the city. Those were also part of the whole plot. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we missed them coming through this time, but we gonna get their ass with 270. You know what I'm saying? Multi-pronged strategies. And that's the way we got to battle them. We got to be on our toes and we got to constantly be thinking. So, all right, family, here we go. Raising up our glass, right? Saluting our creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that creator and we say Ashe. From there, family, we get to our list of our ancestors. And what's crazy about this list is that many of these ancestors on this list may have lost property to this highway act that whose birthday is tomorrow, right? Many of these ancestors may have lost property. Like some of y'all who was thinking about, like I remember my grandma had a nice house and we had to move all of a sudden. We had to move. And then like for example, because it took me a long time because right where the Interbelt is, I used to walk. We used to be able to walk through these neighborhoods. We walked through the neighborhoods, and my grandmother had a house, or somebody in the family had a house right in that area, and that whole area disappeared. So it's almost like when you go through that neighborhood, now, it's almost like going through a, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not there. So it's almost like, was I having illusions when I was young? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? No. I remember them pulling up the dirt and they just take whole swaths of black communities and just tear that shit up. Right? And I know I'm not the only one that noticed that. And also I could tell y'all some shit about busing too, because I'm old enough. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out, because I did a paper for one of my college courses where I talked about the change in my neighborhood once busing started, right? Yeah, they said it was taking us to better schools, but at the same time, when they took the children up out the neighborhood, because I lived right across, my grandmother had a house right across the street from a landmark. It was called the Sand Pile, where actually was Lane Field, and then they put what they called the Sand Pile in there, which was a super playground, right? You know what I'm saying? You could climb and you could jump because they had sand down there, and we used to play all types of games in the sand pile, and we would be playing all day. As soon as we get out of school, go, if we had to change clothes, or go straight to the sand pile, boom, boom, play and have a great time. But as they started busting the kids out, and kids was coming home later, you could start seeing the life leaving the community. And when they take our children out of our community, in a sense, they're taking that ashe or that life energy up out the community. And I start seeing, and I remember the descending of the sand pile going from the playground, you know what I'm saying, going to the place where the drug heads started hanging out. You could start seeing it descend. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, people wouldn't even break bottles over there. And then all of a sudden now, you can't even play in the sand no more because the bottles is ending up in there and stuff like that because the kids is gone all damn day. You know what I'm saying? All right, but anyway, here we go. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin, the Texana, Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Jordan, William, Walter, Christopher, Fanny, Gasson, Eileen, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva, Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Avar Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nicky Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, Nell Normal X, Pet Mont Ra, Medika Fakor, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamau, the Farmer, Elamidi Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Pro Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Dale Pulley, and the Luxor brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Patrick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rendelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend Jane Smith, Dolores Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Mem Del Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clayburgh, B.D. Sale, Weatherly, B. the Farmer, Agoso Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merrill B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Eric Trish Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keach Larice, Lyndon Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles, Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selby Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hitter Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Philip Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinero, Damatat Wellman, Fred Douglas Trigg Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Rena Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Bender Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Alice Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Delimon Aries, Gina Rube Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scannell, Barry Wilson, Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols. Oh, y'all need to go and make sure y'all get some food. Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gaston, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy. Shouts out. Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donald Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Quillinan and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Hosey Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Colford, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis. Oh, man, I forgot. Oh, man. I got to apologize, call and apologize, because I was supposed to be at a meeting last night. I forgot. Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Colbert, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mae Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, ooh, Cleveland. All right, let me stop. Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earleton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Captain Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Jabez McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekhar Maha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coker, George Swan, Emania Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. On to the Black Book. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundum, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, and Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denisa Gore, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid Isan, also known as Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III. We lift up our glass, we salute, and we say, Ashe. Right? From there, family, where do we go? Where do we go from here? We move to the present moment. We are in the present moment right now. We are on Nia. Family, activate those reticular formations. Get out there. Find Nia in action. Post it up on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. Nia. Hashtag Nia. Hashtag Nia in action. Hashtag Nia on the move. And for those that don't speak the language, Nia means purpose. The demonic principle of the day is balance. The color is yellow. Hopefully you can see it. This is supposed to be a good camera. Rhythm is the Hermetic law. Male name for the day is Kofi. Female name is Afua. What's up, Afua? How you doing? Clavin, come here, please. All right. So we lift up our glass, saluting this moment in which all of our power dwells, which all our energy dwells, and we need to go and start using it and harnessing and pulling it together so that we can knock down the barriers so that our children can have room to build their monuments to power, as well as being able to pull from the wisdom of our ancestors and using it to make our lives better in the moment. Can you go turn that dryer back on, please? We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Y'all know where we go from here. We move to our children's children, on to infinity. We lift up our glass and we remember them and we pre-remember them, right? And we also salute them prior to them coming. And we also salute them, sealing our pact with them, letting them know that we're going to do everything that we can in our power to make it possible for you to have the room, the territory, the economic life, everything that a culture requires in order for you to move and build your pyramids of greatnness. We lift up our glass, and we say Ashe. From there, we move to all of our relations, and we toast, and we say Ashe to all of our relations out there, all of y'all out there. You have all the relations. Lift up our glass. From all of our relations, we have this private moment where you go and do some internal questioning. What is it that you need to be at your greatest right now, in this moment, right now? We lift up the glass. We say Ashe. Last but not least, family, we lift up our glass. And I salute the most beautiful, most magnificent, most glorious, shining, ingenious, determined master in the room. Lift my glass and I salute you. We say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. And we take a sip. This that Gye-Nyame, y'all, so it might knock me down. I don't know if my tolerance grew or I'm starting to like that taste there, Gye-Nyame. That's pretty good. All right, so family, this is Brother Hatim. I want to thank you for joining us. Like I said, those that want to get their ancestors on the list, hit us up. You can type in toaster you text toaster to 25456. Those that want to get on the black signal, hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Text GNJ to 25456. Now the difference is the toaster list, you get text when we do the daily toast. So that means you get text for everything that we do, right? Every show, and regardless of the time, you receive a text for most of them. Because sometimes Brother Hatim is slipping. You know what I'm saying? Allow me a little bit of slip time. But also, those that just want to be on the black signal, you get announcements like for the G&J Mall. I'm sending out some stuff for the G&J Mall again today. Every now and then, if there's other activities that require community involvement, you know what I'm saying, and I get wind of it, boom, we're sending it out. All right, and also you get the newsletter when we produce it. So with that, I'm Brother Hatim, and of course you know you are in the congregation of the mighty. This is the home of the stubborn minority. This is the place where your hustle builds hustle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I hear you, girl. And this is a Heart of Symbol production. We have done it again. Consistently, we have toasted our ancestors. I done lost count, but we might be in the thousands right now, right? 1,000 days. Sacrifices. Some of y'all been with me the whole step of the way. This is a Heart of Symbol production, which it takes a Heart of a Symbol to get up and do this every day. Gotta hunt down. You know what I'm saying? Got to hunt down and fight those flaws. Even though I ain't getting up as early. I guess I'm on summertime hours. Summertime. And will we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I will see y'all tomorrow morning on that great Kaumba day. And hopefully I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm out.